Today's guest spent over 20 years in banking and technology at ICICI Bank, Tata Capital, and Yes Bank, reaching the position of CIO and Senior President. Then he did something unexpected. He left it all to build Finfinity, a fintech startup reimagining financial services in India. We welcome Mr. Vijay Kadam to Network Presence Founders Unfiltered. Welcome to the show, Mr. Vijay.
I think it's a trust factor which played more than a business model.
बट ये नाम कहाँ से आया? फाइनेंस में ये भी बोला जाता है कि इट्स मोर अराउंड लास्ट मैन स्टैंड.
So if I put up a form on your iPad or a Mac and saying, which you are supposed to now fill up all this detail to apply for a loan, you would give up. I think we all understand business very well. It is what next.
Finfinity will reach to the infinite possibilities of finance.
But problem यह है कि customer को नहीं पता, agent को नहीं पता. If I bring marketplace concept to the buyer, it will become bias. This is where we wanted to bring the differentiator in entire customer's life cycle journey because it cannot work part-time.
Intraday trading या long term investment. Welcome Vijay sir to Network Presence Founders Unfiltered, and it's been a pleasure that we are hosting you because you've been working in the banking sector for more than 25 years.
Yeah, that's right.
You worked with ICICI Bank, Tata Capital, Yes Bank, I think all big names. तो उसके बाद starting off with your own with your own baby, तो थोड़ा ऐसा लगा नहीं कि difficult होगा how you started, because you get to a certain kind of relaxation, right? You get to a certain kind of comfort by working for so many years. So why you started off with Finfinity? What was the idea? क्या gaps आपने identify किए? And what was your journey when it comes to the corporate side of it?
Sure.
तो एक एक करके start करते हैं.
Perfect.
From your initial days of banking sector.
Sure. Yeah, I think first of all, thanks for having me here. I think it's a pleasure, right? I think it's a perfect question. So by now, I think so work across ICICI Bank. I'll share few learnings from ICICI Bank. I think I spent about 18 years with ICICI Bank.
18 years with ICICI
Bank and moved across 7 profile. I think that organization gave me a lot. I think it gave me a confidence, it gave me a subject, it gave me a domain. But after that, I think one question which always remained unanswered and I was searching for it is what next? So after 18 years, I think it was pretty easy for me to settle down like a traditional banker, keep continue working with the bank, and it gave me a name, fame, everything in my life. But I think that what next keep me bothering, and I moved out or joined a company called Expedient. I worked there. It's a credit bureau. I worked with them for almost a year. Then moved out to a software company based out of Noida. I sold softwares. I was India sales head I was selling B2B softwares across the country. But I think it gave me a lot of insight in terms of how the market works, how the industry operates. It gave me an access to new people, new ideas, and I used to travel a lot, I think. After that, I think I was called by Tata Capital. I joined them as a CIO and worked with them for 3 years with Tata Capital. It was Tata Capital 2.0 story. And worked with them across retail, corporate finance division. And then I was called by Yes Bank because Yes Bank, post-moratorium, they wanted somebody senior to come back and relook at the tech part of it. So worked with Yes Bank for 2 years. I was handling entire retail, MSME and microfinance or technology for the bank, one of the largest portfolio. Again, that what next kept bothering, and that's where I think I met Pradeep and Mohit. Your other co-founders, and Yes Bank gave me that. Pradeep was group mortgage head, so obviously my customer, the right side of it. Mohit is to run a retail strategy for the bank, so obviously we worked very closely those 2 years. And it was Mohit and Pradeep, I would rather give a credit to them. These are the two people who had this initial thought. So it started somewhere in February 2023, if I go back, and they were deliberating, discussing, and then they reached out to me in May 2023.
They reached out to you.
He reached out. I had no clue. They were discussing it out in time, and then it was May 2023 is where Pradeep reached out to me saying, "This is what we are thinking about it." And trust me, Rishi, it took me 45 seconds to say yes.
45 seconds.
And we still talk about it because I think two things. One thing which was bothering me is what next. Second, knowing Pradeep and Mohit so well, I think it's a trust factor which played more than a business model. If at all these guys are discussing for the last 3 months and they're convinced with the idea, thought, and I'm sure they will build something better. I think it just 45 seconds story, and then I said yes to it. And then, of course, then we used to geek in the evening on the coffee shop saying, what next? It was June 2023, we decided that we first put down papers because it cannot work part-time. It cannot work over the weekends in Starbucks over a coffee, right? Beats. And it's where like Mohit and me were like, pushing Pradeep to take a decision. Pradeep was saying, let's wait for some time and then we should work. Make business model, paka, and uske baad karte hai. One fine day, me and Mohit, we actually walked to Pradeep saying we are doing it today. And we did that.
अब बता
The pressure was on Pradeep now, saying, boss, these two guys are now sold out. And like, then he immediately did 2 days, he put down paper. So September 2023, we were through with our responsibility. But the day we put down papers, I think one thing which happened was our minds were very clear. Now, this is the only direction we are going to head. So 24 hours is the same thought, same model, same concept. We picked up a good amount of speed before even we moved out, at least from a strategic point of view. October 2023, we started, and we were very clear that what was supposed to be. So, of course, between three of us, we cover a lot of stuff which is required for a startup. So, Pradeep brings sales strategy, Mohit is started accountant, he brings entire finance, legal compliance, Shruti. I come from banking tech background to understand product sales and digital and tech. So, I think within three of us, I think we completely formed the strategy in terms of what we need. So this is where the birth of Infinity October 20.
But ये नाम कहाँ से है? Because if I have to break down, if I'm not wrong, it's finance plus infinity.
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
So it's around infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
Around finance. Somewhere down the line.
So we were looking at, like, if you look at my logo, it's more like a wallet. So if I look at a customer, so we are saying it is finance till infinity. Now, let me give an example. Let's say somebody is starting career at the age of 25, 26 and joining a company. Maybe a year down the line, he needs 2 years. Right? After that, he upgrades to a 4-wheeler. After that, he gets married. Then he buys a house. Then he extends his family. At the age of 40, he needs another house as investment. Then maybe 50, he needs an education loan. Then he has to have a retirement planning. So it is one customer life cycle, we say finance till infinity. He is a thought leader. Now, this is where we wanted to bring the differentiator in entire customer's life cycle journey. Now, every stage of life, he may need funding. Now, that funding requirement, how do we get it? Is what a thought about.
So that means infinite funding through infinity?
Should we? Why not? Why not? Why not? So this is where the thought, and you rightly said what kind of a gaps we identified. So I think the insider view was better because we were definitely getting business through our channels and kind of thing. We were growing across all the organizations, we were growing. But when we're looking at, this from an outside world, like our own example, our own friends, colleagues, and there's a lot of struggle in terms of making decisions. So one fine day you'll get a call saying that I want to go for a home loan, which bank? And being me working in a bank, I do not know 150 bank in VFC HS area.
150?
150 is a number. So each bank has a different separate.
Right.
So segment of customer, segment of product, and they all compete each other. Now some banks will do a prime home loan, which could be more than 1 crore or 2, and then for those customers, those banks are better. But somebody needs 25 lakh rupees loan. That bank will not be able to cater that. Now, if I say, if this is 150 plus kind of a lenders in the country offering different product, me as a customer, how do I choose? And this is one thought which came in mind. We also look at a lot of evolution which happened across industry. So why we bring that lens back to Baki? Let me take an example. You guys are young, but I have traveled 20 years before. It used to be Gupta Travel Agents. तो हर गली कोने में एक ट्रैवल एजेंट होते थे. हम उनके घर जाते थे कि मुझे एरिया जाना है दिल्ली, तो वो अंकल पैसे लेते थे, टिकट देते थे.
अब एक सीट
ऑन देयर वहाँ से यू नाउ मेक माई ट्रिप. नो मेक माई ट्रिप, इजियो, clear trip. You have Skyscanner. Now, if I want to travel today from Bombay to Delhi, I go to Skyscanner and make my trip. Why?
Aggregator.
Convenience.
Yeah.
They don't operate any airline. They don't manage any lounge, nothing, right? But look at the ease. I want to take a 6 o'clock flight from Bombay because I need to reach Delhi by 9:30 for MED. So it gives me option that which flight to want to get, the price point, the discount offers or promotional offers, kind of a thing. I do compare. Now, since I have a visibility of all this today, I'm able to make a right choice. When I say make a right choice, either in terms of convenience or in terms of money. I can book my hotel on the same platform. I can book up airport. Correct. So they brought everything together.
Correct. And it is everything in both.
So if I go to, let's say, a fashion, it started like, brick and mortar shops to Shopper Stop, department stores. Correct. Now if I want to buy a standard product, I go to various platform compare. But today, me as a consumer, I have become a king.
Correct.
Why? Because this information is made available to me.
So if we actually realize जितने भी apps हमारे phone में हैं, उनका bottom line convenience ही है. If we talk about Uber, Ola, Zomato, Instamart, Zepto, Swiggy, Make My Trip, Ixigo, सबका bottom line, Paytm, all like UPI apps, bottom line convenience. And in India, convenience will, and that's the future, which absolutely, it's not even the future, it's already here.
Yeah.
But I think that's where you started relating finance.
Exactly. So now this industry, like I'm saying, taking a home loan for buying a home loan is just more than 2 decades story. I started with HDFC Limited in late 80s, and then every other bank, including my own bank, ICICI Bank, grew retail like crazy. So this story is just 2.5 decades old. Now look at the ecosystem. The market size is about 1,25,000 crores disbursement in the month.
1,25,000
crores a disbursement in a month is the market opportunity. Now today 70% business is done by the corporate DSS. The sourcing typically happens through an agent. So if I want to buy a home loan, a resale property, a agent who's trying to show me a home, he say, I have a friend who can get a loan done. I imagine a person who's not a banker, I'm going to work on his advice. He might say, okay, let's go to A bank, and A bank I will get it done in 1 week's time. But me as a customer, I have no idea whether that A bank is the right bank for me.
कोई हम पॉलिसी तो देखते हैं, डॉक्यूमेंट देखते ही नहीं है.
और नहीं है. Any bank's website or any fintech, typically this is home loan starting from 7.15.
हाँ.
Now starting from 7.15, where exactly I stand is not known.
Right.
And we need today, if anybody would have taken home loan can relate to what I'm trying to say. It takes 15 to 20 days. Lot of documents. Now this agents typically operate in a physical court.
Correct.
I need to hand over my Aadhaar, PAN, bank statement, including my wife's Aadhaar, PAN, bank statement, with a whole bunch of documents, and hand it over to an agent. So my data is now public.
Correct.
I do not know where exactly how he's going to use it.
Correct.
Whether he's going to put that into 1 bank, 2 bank, 3 bank is not known. So data security is completely one for toss. My other Xerox is moving in the market. Now the product what he's trying to bring it back to me may not fit to my requirement. For example, I'm looking out for 1 crore loan. He logs in my file with the E-Bank, and the E-Bank comes back to saying, I can give maximum 80 lakh rupees. The sky falls on me. Because how do I arrange for this 20 lakh rupees? I've already made a token payment to that. Now, this anxiety, this nervousness is something which is bothering any home loan buyer.
Correct.
Now, how do I compare? And this is where I'm saying Make My Trip or any Amazon or any fintech you're talking about. If I bring marketplace concept to the buyer, it will become buyer's market.
Correct.
No. The moment I have a choice to make, now I'm saying I don't mind paying higher interest if I'm getting higher amount. Now the core of Infinity is creating a marketplace. Now how do I create a marketplace? If I go back to Make My Trip example, they know exactly what rate Indigo is selling it at.
Right.
So they have connect with airline. Right? They also know whether seats are available, not available, kind of thing. Now if I say, let's say work closely with 50, 60 banks, and if I bring their policy parameter as part of my core tech engine, and you come on my platform within 30 seconds, if I actually run your data across 50, 60 banks and give you that bank A will give you this much loan amount at this rate, and this is borrowing fee. Not starting from. Now you might say this bank is giving a low rate, but it's not giving me higher amount. I may go to second bank and say, okay, this bank is giving me higher loan amount, which I need it, but I may have to pay a slightly higher interest pay. I make the choice. Like take one example, CIBIL is important, right?
Right.
Me as a customer, I have no idea. Agent has no idea. Let's say your CIBIL is 650, for example. It's not good. Now the agent logs in the file with the bank. Is a basic first hygiene parameter bank will say, I will not be able to give you a loan to this customer. Correct. How much time I have lost? Now, whether agent will know that 650 customer also will get a loan, maybe higher rate, but which bank? पता नहीं है मुझे.
तो कितना सिबिल अच्छा होता है लाइक अकॉर्डिंग
I think anything above 750 is good, but I'm saying each bank has a different risk-taking capacity.
राइट
Right? So आपको 500 सिविल पे भी लोन मिल जाएगा.
बट इंटरेस्ट रेट ज्यादा हो
Interest rate होता हो. It's really easy of financial behavior, which typically any bank would look at it. But problem ये है कि customer को नहीं पता, agent को नहीं पता, and bank is going to reject. Let me give one example. Personal loan, a standard industry example. If you look at आज कोई भी बैंक में अगर 100 एप्लीकेशन आते हैं उनके उसमें से 55 अप्रूव होते हैं, 45 रिजेक्ट होते हैं. क्यों? Because they don't fit in the scheme of banking credit policy norms. Now imagine from a bank point of view, ये 45 एप्लीकेशन पे निफाम होता है एंड उसके बाद रिजेक्ट होता है. What if I give a right customer to the bank? And if I say बैंक के लिए अप्रूवल रेट में 55 से 90 लेके जा सकता हूँ मेरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे, बिकॉज आई एम गोइंग टू फिल्टर आउट दोज कस्टमर विच आर नॉट फिटिंग इनटू योर स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स. So one side customer gets a benefit, saying that he gets a right bank and their loan will go through 95%, and banks also get a right shot.
करेक्ट
So am I not complimenting to the customer side and also on banking side? Is a change agenda what we are trying to drive? Because sitting in a bank, we always looked at approval rate. We always looked at cost of sourcing.
Right. But how it makes Finfinity different, because when it comes to Skyscanner, we know कि आज Skyscanner जो कर रहा है, we can have 10 other platforms as well doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Same applies to Finfinity as well.
Yeah.
कि हम यदि बैंक्स को एग्रीगेट कर रहे हैं एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे, तो वो दूसरे कंपनीज भी सेम चीज बना सकते हैं, प्लेटफॉर्म्स बिल्ड कर सकते हैं विद अ ग्रेट टेक.
Yeah.
तो हाउ आर वी क्रिएटिंग अ काइंड ऑफ डिफरेंस और अ काइंड ऑफ डेंट इन द मार्केट?
Sure. So I think 2-3 example I think, Rishi. One, basically, of course, there are fintech and we are not only one. But most of the fintech, if you see around and go study at least 100 fintechs in country, and they've actually done a lot of stuff. So one, basically, a lot of fintechs are trying to focus on one single part. So either somebody's trying to create a credit card journey, there are payment aggregators, then there are your wealth management apps, right? And somebody is now trying to do maybe business loan or supply chain finance. But we kept it very simple. We said if I want to segment my customer, I will say salaried and cerebral product. Now, when I look at salaried customer, the way I said a life cycle of a customer, now he doesn't have to go to personal loan on different app. For home loan, he'll go somewhere else. For credit card, he'll go somewhere else. But what if I bring the complete Kiko bouquet to him and say, I offer all of you? So why I'm talking about loans, we also bring a lot of investment stuff, that is fixed deposit you can do, you can gold kind of a purchases. We also help you in doing your insurance and investments. Of course, that's with a partnership tie-up. But if I say it a complete 360-degree financial wellness, anything and everything I want to do it, I want to do it. So that's one thought on the segment part of it and the product part of it. The second part, make my trip will not be make my trip till time you get a PNR issue. So suppose it's going to be a drop on the floor and somebody calls you up, sir, thank you for booking your ticket, and you will, issue your ticket by today evening. You will not go back again. So what they did was end-to-end digital, and this is the most toughest part. So while you acquire a customer on one side of it, on your platform, do a lot of underwriting, pre-underwriting kind of a stuff, give a right traffic to the bank. How? Now, if I say I'm going to send documents over email, or somebody from my team will take a printout and go to the bank, then I'm not solving for it. Now, the biggest differentiator here is that if I work with all this 50-60 band and connect my Finfinity app to the banking system, and if I get go, no go on the fly.
So it's a B2B2C model.
It is a B2B2C model. Now, the difficult part, what we're trying to solve is to integrate with all these banks who are principals who are going to underwrite this loan as per their credit policy norms. So it is not going to be algorithm-based language. Okay. So every bank will have the credit policy pad. While I'm saying this customer is perfectly fit for a bank, the bank will give me go no on the fly, and that's API integration. It's the most difficult part. Now, why we chose this route? Because we said unless we solve for it, there is no customer experience. Why we are able to do it? I think the answer is very simple. It is a pedigree of all three of us. After spending 2.5 decades in the industry, I think a lot of people know us. Knowing is one part of it, but it comes with a trust. So if I go and approach any C-level executive in any bank and they see all three of us are trying to build something, I think the trust factor comes.
But you mentioned we have around 150 financial institutions जो loans provide करते हैं, right? सबके इतने solid tech platforms हैं या APIs बने हुए हैं जो because
You're right.
yeah.
You're right. I think you're touching a very, very, very important part of the conversation. So this is typically pre-COVID. Banks were trying to automate their own entry system. So I was heading technology. So I know we were trying to consolidate a lot of technology. It's a huge setup. It's not easy, right? And you're handling such a large volumes. So I think it's post-COVID. A lot of us realize that digitizing the entire process is a key because there's a pressure on the cost, right? So how much money, time you spend in acquiring right customer is going to be key for all the banks because everybody is in a competing world. It's post-COVID, you see a lot of banks have now started moving fast on customer acquisition. Imagine during COVID, how do you source your loans? Because you never thought about a customer would come through my website and we will do end-to-end fulfillment. Now, if you look at 2022 onwards, a lot of bank and a lot of private sector bank, including PUC banks, have now started putting a lot of efforts on the customer acquisition and a lot of digital service app. Couple of examples, a lot of banking apps now completely. I think for us, starting in 2022 was the right time because unless bank evolved, nobody need doing and doing that.
Right.
So Fintech started before us,
Yeah.
never had an advantage of doing this.
Right.
But for us, it was 2023 where banks are also quite hungry on digital side of it. You're also bringing that customer experience together. I think it becomes a complete ecosystem. And just to add one point here, and I would like to mention about it, it's only Fifth Thread cannot change that aspect. Then there is a regulator. RBI is doing a lot of things on the digital side of it. So they have formed RBI Innovation Hub. They work very closely with fintechs. So why they guide, they have regulatory framework, they actually helping fintechs to build this. So one side is regulator, he is trying to do. Second, your government. So a lot of public digital infrastructure. You take GST, you take your PAN, income tax. Like today income tax is like crazy, right? मतलब आपका assessment हो जाता है.
Correct.
Right? Now all this public digital infrastructure is also building the database of Viksit Bharat or India you call. Now, if I say government is moving in that direction, regulator is also helping in that direction, banks are also evolving and saying that yes, we are absolutely open for remote digital stuff, and Fintech was trying to take a difference. Now, imagine one of this change agent is missing from here. This ecosystem cannot change.
Right. And I was about to talk about the same because fintech जो boom हम बोलते हैं वो 2019 to 21 में आया था. बहुत सारे फाइनेंस इन्फ्लुएंसर्स ने भी काफ़ी बिल्ड किया, ब्रांड्स उनको अप्रोच कर रहे थे एंड कंपनीज लाइक ग्रो या सीरोदा, सब लोग का भी एक काइंड ऑफ बूम आया. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई वाज आस्किंग कि बूम वहाँ पर था एंड देन 22-23 के बाद थोड़ा सा ठंडा हुआ सिस्टम, राइट? बट एट दैट मोमेंट यू स्टार्टेड, तो उस वजह से कुछ चैलेंजेस आए, कुछ यू फेस एनी काइंड ऑफ इश्यूज व्हाइल बिल्डिंग द टीम?
See, I think team building was pretty simple for us because again it goes
25 years of experience.
So 25 so the entire Finware team is our own people. So first I think we all three believed in what we are building. Of course then it went to a team, and then the team what we have including the movies are us is all our own people have worked with us either who previous stint or maybe in the past. So we are 90 of us today. No lateral recruitment because we wanted team to come not from having a job with Finverity but to build Finverity. I think that is where the agenda was changed. So we have employees who are shareholders. People have put in their own money, their equity stakeholders with us and with the founding team right from day one. So that's where it differentiates my team from other. Second, to your question that we started a bit late. Yes, I think we started a bit late. Maybe I think waiting for the right opportunity. But we started at the right time is what I mean. That when the boom comes, I think there are too many players trying to do something.
Right.
I think our thought was very simple. Are we solving for it? I think today I'm absolutely happy and proud in telling you, Rishi, that the same conviction remains after 3 years. We would have changed our course correction somewhere because as we move along, you see a lot of stuff. But the conviction still remains. The problem statement, what we are trying to solve, we started in that direction. I don't think we have changed our. roadmap. We were confident then, we are confident today. What you're building is a difficult route. It is a time-taking route. But the day you built it, and as I said, 1,25,000 gross market, right? Fintech typically does 3% today. It would take 15% CAGR. This will become 5 lakh crore industry. And it's estimated that 30% will be up by fintech. Now, the way I said, how it is possible, it's like you look at ULI, Unified Lending, which is now RBI launched. RBI recent guideline talks about you should inform customer what are the options I make. So everything is folding into absolutely right direction. You are government of saying you can't, not inform customer. You have to inform customer. You have to be very transparent. And that is possible only when you have an information given to the customer.
Correct. It's more around value creation, not valuation in the end. And finance में ये भी बोला जाता है कि it's more around last man standing.
Absolutely right, yeah.
Because it's not about like 50 कंपनीज आज आ गई फाइनेंस में, 100 कंपनीज आ गई. इट्स मोर अबाउट ओके 15 साल के बाद किसमें उतना पेशेंस है कि वो टिका रहेगा. राइट. एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई थिंक Finfinity, finance with finite possibilities. I think मैंने tagline दे दिया.
This is well thought, and in fact, the kind of logo we created, it also talks about like we want to be the customer of our life. We are not here to do one transaction, right? If you look at other fintech, typically it's not a cross-sell, upsell. I'm saying, can I be with you whole of your life and catering to all your needs, right? Imagine like a product which is typically not very common, imagine, is a medical emergency loan.
Right.
Now, can we co-create that with one NBFC, one bank who's willing to take this in a conventional way of underwriting? It doesn't mean that we give money to anybody and everybody. But if I actually bring this, and if I say I do a tie with the hospitals and I do a straight-through funding, I think you're saving lives.
इसमें एक इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन मेरे दिमाग में आया कि हाउ डू वी वेरीफाई. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल आज मुझे लोन चाहिए, पर्सनल लोन चाहिए. उसमें ऑप्शन आएंगे कि आपको किस रीज़न की वजह से आपको लोन चाहिए. मुझे मेडिकल इमरजेंसी नहीं है, मुझे गैम्बलिंग करनी है या मुझे कसिनो में जाके 5 लाख रुपए डालने.
आपको लोन भी मिलेगा
नहीं, बट वो वहां पर तो आप चूज कर रहे हो कि मेडिकल इमरजेंसी है, राइट. एंड देन यू आर पुटिंग अप योर पैन, योर आपका सिबिल भी सॉलिड है, सब चीजें हैं. तो डू वी हैव अ सिस्टम जहां पर इस चीज को भी हम वेरीफाई करें? बिकॉज आई डाउट, बिकॉज इंटरनली मुझे पता है कि मैं गैम्बलिंग में इसको डालने वाला हूँ, बट वहां पर मैं मेडिकल इमरजेंसी डाल रहा हूँ.
So typically what happens, bank tries and verifies and they have a call coming in from bank. But very honestly, hence it is called unsecured loan.
Still, it's a gray area.
It's an unsecured loan. Underwriting norms, of course, will see your repayment capacity, your CIBIL score. A lot of financial parameters will be considered. But the only challenge here is that it's unsecured loan. The end use of money is bought more. And there's no way and mean for any bank or for us to verify that. Right? So it's as long as you're able to pay me on time, I'm fine, because I'm not worried about late dues. But yes, of course, there will be example where people are, misusing this fund. But this is beyond any biggest country.
It's a kind of quick money that you're getting in, right? And there is a chance कि आज मैंने 5 लाख वहां से लिए और शायद उसके 8 लाख बन भी गए.
हो सकता है. But वो 5 के अगर 1 लाख बन जाएंगे, तो you tend to be a defaulter. The bank will come after you. Asset back. Right. So as long as you're paying me or my EMIs on time, I think bank is not worried. But yes, you're saying it's a gray area because there is no way for anybody to verify. Now, if you take same example in home loan, right? You buy a property from a developer or you buy a resale property, the money goes to the seller, not your account. See, in that case, end purpose of money or end usage of money is known to us. Right. If I want to buy a vehicle and I go for a loan, the money goes to a dealer, not to you. So hence it is called unsecured, and unsecured will remain unsecured.
I'm just brainstorming with you, but do we have an option? Like for example, आज किसी को मेडिकल इमरजेंसी है, बट वो गैम्बलिंग के लिए पैसा डालने वाला है, तो मेडिकल इमरजेंसी है जिसने चूज किया, तो you get an option where you have to upload the medical certificates or the OPD.
So this is where I think I was coming, Rishi.
Yeah.
Now if I do a tie-up with a hospital, and if I, let's say, there is a way to process, could be a QR code, it could be link, it could be. In that case, I will ask for this document so that I know the end purpose, because this guy is now trying to do a journey from hospital.
Correct.
Because I have an identifier from an edison. Now if I say if it is like, let's say, a very famous hospital who's not trying to right, whatever customer, I know a point of sale. Now, when I know a point of sale, the money goes to that account, not to the customer account. Today, it is like I'm applying for a personal loan and think, there's no way for me to do it.
More of RCM, I would say it's revenue cycle management.
It's a revenue cycle plan.
Ah.
It's like that. So, the moment you say a point of sale, like for example, a school fees funding, right? Again, somebody may say, I want to fund my kid school fees funding, but he may use this money for something else. What do? So, if you do a tie-up with the education institute and the money goes to their account, so you have to cater into a point of sale to bring in more safety security to the overall process.
So when it comes to starting off with Finfinity, of course, while building for 25 years, when it comes to your experience, थोड़ा तो difficult हुआ होगा in the initial days because एक comfort zone आ गया होगा like after 25 years. तो क्या challenges थे when it comes to building Finfinity in the initial months?
I think
comfort zone के बाहर आप फंसे.
So I generally, look, this is not my own example. Somebody actually came and borrowing it. So somebody said there are दो तरह के ड्रग होता है. एक ड्रग एक्चुअल ड्रग होता है, दूसरा ड्रग
पैसे को होता है,
सैलरी होती है.
सैलरी, हाँ, okay.
You get used to that SMS on last day of the month, say your account will look. You feel like a killing that way. I think वो आदत छोड़ना बहुत important. So that was a difficult thing, and of course all three of us then we thought. I think first thing which went right was we took a decision.
दूसरा दिन savings भी होंगे आपके for like
so that's what I'm saying. This was not even planned. So I'm saying the challenges were like, we just jumped. Because we saw a shorter runway. If we don't do it, somebody else will do it. So we had a very shorter runway to build this together. तो अगर हम 1-2 साल प्लान करके सेविंग्स बनाते उसके बाद हम करते तो आई थिंक होता नहीं था. Then there was no right time for us to. Then you always say कल करते and then probably वो निकल जाता. So I think one good thing what we did was we jumped. Second, we jumped with our own money. Okay, put in good $1 million of three of us plus some senior employees. And we want to do it around one fund so that, ownership, seriousness, right? And a lot of people give feedback, we should go for a fundraiser. I said, we build the concept, we do a POC, proof of concept, we do proof of progression that is working fine, the car is ready to take off kind of thing. And then that's why we raised. But initial days were tough because we never planned. So on a personal note, of course, the struggle happens, right? Because now you are not an employee, you are employer. I think that's a big point shift. एक था comfort, definitely, both working with large bank, you have large teams, structures होते हैं, so you have 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down, तो आप बस काम करना उनसे. And suddenly you land up into a place which is quite tiny, small, effects, right, from there. So we कभी office बनी है तो आप shutter खोल रहे हो. So I think it is how quickly you adapt to that change. So challenges, of course, 2-3 थे. Is to get a right team on the board. So obviously that because we wanted to go commercial. So the way we built it, we started in October 23 and Jan 2024 we started generating RRQ. Unlike other fintech, where like we built product for 2 years and then we go so we had all these people coming and joining and they started generating their own direct business for us. So that kept us alive and now we are closing around after 2 years. So we ran Bootstrap for 2 years. So that is one in the issue.
And it also makes you humble.
Yeah.
After so many years.
Challenges was because of Shortland, we wanted to build a lot of technologies, wanted to look at a lot of security guardrails, hiring teams, getting business model, meeting people, validating. I think those are jobs. But comfort zone, yes, I think probably between 3 of us, we were mentally prepared the day we put in our paper saying life is going to be different.
Because एडजस्टमेंट क्या था बिकॉज आपकी फैमिली है, बच्चे हैं, बिकॉज वो भी आपको कहीं ना कहीं टेक केयर करना पड़ता है.
True. You are absolutely right. So I think one good thing happened with all 3 of us and of course rest of us is our family supported. So it is a simple decision. You are building something, you are passionate about it. Adjustment on personal side has to happen. Correct. I think this cannot happen without families. I think we all are lucky that, all our spouses, families supported us saying that, jao apni ji lo zindagi types. Right? In other words, you get used to that kind of a comfort. You are getting good salaries, so घूमने जा रहे हो, so long holidays कर रहे हो, shopping कर रहे हो. I think It is not us, it is complete families of 80 people who sacrifices just on comes together. But इसका एक और एक फायदा है कि this brings a lot of responsibility on us. Then it is not 3 of us, it is 80 of us. I think वो पापा वाली फीलिंग आती है कि you can't go wrong, you have to get it right. I think all 3 of us now in that पापा वाला zone जहाँ पे हम सोचते हैं कि नहीं इसको this cannot go wrong at any cost.
But in the terms of leadership, I really think that the kind of experience that you had like for 25 years, what kind of skills that you think जो आपने यहाँ पर immediately apply करी while building in Finfinite?
Yeah. I think, as I said, all 3 come from banking background.
Yeah.
So all 3 coming together, we probably had every particular aspect of every unit into the cup. We know what to build. So we had sales, strategy, product, tech, InfoSec, all of that. Right. So the experience of doing banking for last 25 years and having worked with multiple organizations, I think we all understand business pretty well. We know how whole loan story works end to end, right? Because we have worked on the ground and we climbed our ladder. We never trained at a senior level. We went from bottom to top kind of thing. So we had that complete expertise, domain, product expertise with us. While you build tech, we know what banks consume from a tech point, what they need. So right from product to InfoSec to your entire cloud infra, all of that, we know what banks will look at.
Correct.
And third comes the cap. So we saw 100 fintechs, we saw their journeys. Now, just one example, like you go to any fintech and let's say you want to apply for a loan, you need to fill in about 105 fields. Small thing, I'll tell you. Now, your attention spans are coming down.
Okay.
So if I put up a form on your iPad or a Mac and saying, which you are supposed to now fill up all this detail to apply for a loan, you would give up. You would give up. You're saying, this is not something which I do. Better I pick up a phone, call my agent. Same way, Peter, a form. I'm done. Now, what if I say that I just need 15 fields? Rest I will fetch it. And alternate data. Again, coming back to public digital infrastructure. My PAN is linked to IT, or IT is linked to somewhere else. If I go to bank, I get my address. So there are 30 APIs what we use to streamline digital. So my mobile app looks like a McDonald's. I say one which is burger with fries and a cold coffee. So I just press 1, 2, and 3. Now if I bring this kind of a user experience, that's quite easy. So a lot of time went in designing this. Where we never wanted to need to just to go to market.
कौन से skills सबसे ज़्यादा काम आए in the terms of your 25 years of experience?
I think multiple skills. Take top 3. I think probably the strategy what we built was a bit of that came in handy. Second was tech, and building that right tech was toughest one.
Third, I think relations and connections.
So I was coming there. I think this was something which helped us out. So when we started building this, we made a lot of legends in the industry. We wanted to buy it for that. I think this is where it helped us because we had that connection in the industry. So between 3 of us, we maybe covering 60-65% banking leadership, like whether like maybe mentors, colleagues, or bosses. Just one call away and happened well. I think without them, it would not have been possible. So of course, some played a critic role saying that what you're building is not right, but the feedback was important for us. Some said you are building it right, but just do this. And I just remember one of the feedback, and I think it'll remain with me for a life. One of the mentor said to all 3 of us, eye to eye, you guys are working the bath. You guys are conditioned. The moment you are moving out, you can't build structures. You can't have a hierarchy. Just keep close out of that. You're not building teams like the bank does it. I think very valuable feedback. Otherwise, you end up with creating departments in the startup. Say, it's not my job. I report to this boss, that boss reports to this boss. I think very valuable, simple feedback. But it remained with us. And it is helping us out. Now, today, even though we have thin structures because you need to somewhere segregate, but there is no standard reporting hierarchy, which we were used to it.
Yeah.
Which we were used to it.
And it's said that if you have 100 employees working for you, but you have 15 entrepreneurs working for you, it's more or less equivalent.
Yeah, absolutely right. As I said, we were lucky to get right people. Each one of us today can really comes with a mindset saying it's my job. It does not come to us saying that I work here. I think that is where the complete differentiator in our team, and I take a pride in saying that. Not even a single person thinks that, he is working here. Each one of us is, like, let's say I'm doing sales, but while he is doing sales, he's meeting customer, he sees an opportunity for a tire, he leads that. He leads that. Like, we are spread across country, we have 15 locations now, physically present, 15 locations. So if I say my Bangalore sales head is able to talk to our developers, he is able to talk to corporate, he is able to talk to investors, over and above what he is responsible for.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah, network is network. Absolutely. So this is where, if I would have created a department, then guy would have said, my job is to do sales, because I will review only by my numbers. But he now helps me creating the entire ecosystem.
Right.
Because he's locally.
And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship.
Beauty of it. But I think that thought, probably we didn't need to do anything. The people who came was known to us. They had a complete trust and faith in us in terms of what we are building. And the moment they took a decision, along with their families, they were already in. Because imagine these 80 people leading large organization. 3 पागल हो सकते हैं. ठीक है ना? So we say कि we sacrifice our positions, salaries, comfort, सब कुछ. There cannot be 90 people who are crazy, right? So they believed in us, they believed in the concept, and they sacrificed. So I think ये बहुत बड़ा.
But आपने उनको ESOPs दिया या like
That is, see, law pieces are common equity. Of course, in you'll have ESOP because they are like stakeholders for us.
correct.
So वो सब तो वही है.
But from now onwards, where do you see success? And how do you define success for you when it comes to Finfinity? Is it a kind of transactional based कि मैंने इतने loans approve करवाए या मैंने इतने customers को reach out किया, या is it more around how much value you have created for the customers?
Very good question, Rishi. So, of course, we are in business. Numbers will matter. Of course, to us, to investors, all of us, numbers matters because you are in the business.
Right.
But if I just give in one example, there are 8 crores people who are employed in India, salaried. This broad level number. If we can actually convert 20-30% from a financial wellness point of view, I think we achieved. If I look at MSME point of, now let's say a reach is, let's say, 11% to MSME, or in tier 1, tier 2 cities. But with this tech and with the bank tie-up, if I can reach out to tier 3, tier 4 cities, where we are talking about a Viksit Bharat and India kind of a thing, if I can actually reach out to this MSME who do not have an access to a structured finance today, I think we would should.
Do you really think that your success also boils down to a kind of hierarchy in India in the terms of the kind of, I would say, the price and parity or maybe the salaries that you have? जिस दिन हम farmers को loans provide करना start कर पाएं, जिस दिन वो लोग आपका प्लेटफॉर्म यूज कर रहे हैं, उनको इतनी एजुकेशन मिल चुकी है इन द टर्म्स ऑफ कि कैसे डिजिटाइज वे में उनको लोन्स मिल सकते हैं, डू यू थिंक दैट आल्सो इज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर सक्सेस?
Of course it is, but right now I'm not looking at that kind of a segment. So we're starting from tier 1, tier 2, 3 city. We're looking at salaried segment and MSME segment. Of course, agriculture will come. And we do have plans of reaching out to that ecosystem. But if you take too much on your plate, I think we're just going conservative. And hence I said, we won't call ourselves like, a multi-product company. We say we have a segment called salaried. We have a segment called self-employed. But within that, we have only 2 products. One is secured, second is unsecured. Same goes with MSME, secured, unsecured. Now, if I can create this kind of a chassis for the product and build customer journeys and connect with the banks.
So, एक बार स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसेस समझते हैं कि आज मुझे पर्सनल लोन चाहिए और मैं फिनफिनिटी के प्लेटफॉर्म पे आता हूँ, तो प्रोसेस क्या है and how much time does it take?
So typically it is a B2B2C platform. So I would do a tie with your CHRO or NB, and then we do a corporate tie, and then absolutely this app comes free for the employees. What you bring it to table for the employees is a wellness part of it. Suppose, for example, from where should I borrow? At what rate I should borrow? Or maybe I have an existing loan with higher rate of interest.
वो ट्रांसफर भी हो सकता है.
Transfer कर सकते हो, right? Now, that's a myth. Like, how do I know there's a fixed loan and floating loan? The floating loan typically bank will change your benchmark rate. Now, that may take your loan interest rate up or down, but you're not bothered because your EMI is getting debited in every month is constant.
Right.
Now, underlying interest rate, you will get information from a bank, but how much or how many of us actually see that very clear? That what it means for me, right? Do we go to bank or do we call them up and say, "Ki, what is my interest rate?" Now, let's say your interest rate is 9.5%, you was an employee. Have you ever seen that is in 9.5 for you? You would have borrowed at 8%. Now, because of all this rate up and down, because it's a floating rate, correct, right? Now, if it is 9.5% on existing loan, what if I say, Rishi, now there is a ban which will give you loan at 7.15% if you do a balance transfer. So when you do a balance transfer, let's say you would have taken loan 5 years before, your property would have appreciated by then, your outstanding would have come down. Now let's say if I give you a balance transfer along with a top-up option at a 7.15%, would you not go for it? Now if I say the way we look at, saying that it is 9.5 minus 7.15, you save about 1.35% on your outstanding amount, right? I would translate that into number of rupees over the managed tenure of 15 years is huge. Now, interest not paid means what? Interest saved.
इससे एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ मुझे याद है कि जितने हम लोन्स लेते हैं और जब EMIs डेबिट होती हैं, so I wanted to understand like the back side of it, back end side of it. Initially सिर्फ इंटरेस्ट डेबिट होता है and after a certain period of time प्रिंसिपल प्लस इंटरेस्ट डेबिट होता है एंड देन बाद में फिर प्रिंसिपल बचता है. एंड व्हाई डू वी हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ सिस्टम?
No, it is not a system. So what you're saying is like in a layman language. Typically, bank will cover your EMI from month one. It is an outstanding amount. So obviously, what interest you pay in month one has to be an higher because your repayment has to come down.
Correct.
So initially, we'll say कि प्रिंसिपल नहीं रिकवर होता है, प्रिंसिपल रिकवर होता है, बट वो उतना एक्सटेंड तक नहीं होता है बिकॉज योर EMI गोज लार्जली इनटू योर इंटरेस्ट पेपर.
हाँ, because
foreclosure come down. The way you come down 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, since your outstanding is coming down, your interest on that month also comes down. Why your EMI is constant, the moment your interest comes down, your principal repayment goes up. So you look at any repayment schedule for 5 years, initially your interest outgo will be higher and towards end your principal outgo will be higher. So it is imbalance.
So is it better to foreclose the loans or like is it better to continuously up EMI?
So it depends. It depends. Like let's say you serve the loan for 2 years. And suppose if it is at a very cheap rate, let's say it could be a home loan, it's around 5%. Now you have a surplus cash. Now it's up to you. Now let's say you put that into with your mutual fund and you can generate a revenue of 30-40%. Keep continuing that loan.
तो ब्लेंडेड वैल्यू में यदि आज मुझे 8% पे लोन मिला,
7.5% आपका लोन चल रहा है, आप वो पैसे FD में डालते हो at 7%, which is pre-tax. FD का इंटरेस्ट will get offered to income tax. You are a higher slab of income tax. Let's say आप एग्जाम्पल के लिए 30% आपका टैक्स लग गया, तो you end up with having 5% return on FD. Then in that case, you might as well pay off your loan. But if you have a skill set to make that money work for you at a higher rate than your loan, you say. So it is like a cricket. Every run saved is every run scored.
Correct.
So any 1 rupee going in interest payment, if you can earn more than that, save.
इंटरेस्टिंग. सो बिकॉज मैंने ये चीज़ देखी थी कि जब भी आप फोरक्लोजर के लिए जाते हो तो आपने तो सिर्फ इंटरेस्ट भरा है, तो व्हेन यू एक्चुअली रियलाइज तो यार अमाउंट तो उतना ही ज़्यादा है.
Because initially क्या होता है, आपका आउटस्टैंडिंग अमाउंट ज़्यादा होता है, obviously interest will be higher because your EMI is constant.
करेक्ट.
So I need to balance between both. तो आपका इंटरेस्ट शुरू में ज़्यादा होगा, प्रिंसिपल कम होगा. Now suppose if you go to bank after a year or two, obviously अपने प्रिंसिपल रिपेमेंट कम ही हुआ रहेगा, तो obviously your outstanding is.
तो इसमें एक और चीज़ जो आई थिंक इम्पॉर्टेंट है is around the kind of relations that you have in banks. Because in the end, like for example, if you have two other platforms providing same kind of services, जैसे Finfinity provide कर रहा है, तो banks को तो of course फायदा है. क्योंकि आप उनको एक तरीके से बिजनेस लाके दे रहे हैं,
Yeah.
राइट? बट कैसे यू मेक श्योर कि फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम यू मेंटेन दोस काइंड ऑफ रिलेशंस विद बैंक्स? एक होता है आपका खुद का एक्सपीरियंस इतने सालों का विद योर को-फाउंडर्स, बट ओवरऑल
Yeah.
हाउ डू यू मैनेज रिलेशंस विद द बैंक्स?
So I think it is sort of a win-win. So when you go and approach a bank and you actually say that you co-create, right? They also need to reach a larger ecosystem. And I always give an example. Let's say you go to a corporate which has got 10,000 employees and they have a salary account with X bank. All these 10,000 employees may or may not get loan from that X bank.
Correct.
Let's say 50% get.
Correct.
Where do balance 50% go? Now, if I create a pie of that business for a Y bank, which is not their customer,
राइट.
I think makes sense. So, building it right, building it tight for the bank from an imposite point of view is two main things important.
आपके लिए बट चैलेंजिंग नहीं होता बिकॉज आरबीआई नॉर्म्स जो है वो कंटिन्यूसली इवॉल्व हो रहे हैं, कंटिन्यूसली चेंज हो रहे हैं, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू आल्सो नीड टू चेंज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इन योर प्लेटफॉर्म, करेक्ट? एंड नाउ डीपीडीपी इज आल्सो
कभी
coming in, right? तो we know that there are a lot of companies जो बैक एंड पे बहुत सारा फाइनेंशियल डेटा
Yeah.
फ्लोट करती है,
True.
right? So how do you secure customer data? Because when it comes to, as you're mentioning that it's around B2 B2C, तो ये तो और भी ज़्यादा important हो जाता है when it comes to the data privacy.
True.
So how are you compliant, and how do you make sure that all the data is private and secured in the terms of customers?
Absolutely. I think very, very good question. I think this is business of finance and you are dealing with a lot of customer data. Very right question, Rishi. Thank you so much for that. So we all come from bank. Of course, I always go back and saying the compliance is zero tolerance for us. We've been taught like that, right? So any data security, we've been taught like that. It's part of a blood kind of thing. So when we started off this, we never wanted to take a shortcuts. We wanted to build it right. So this security, governance, compliance is a DNA of this car up until today. Now, two examples. Okay, so why we started building a product tech kind of a story? We started doing compliance certificates. So we are ISO 26000 compliant. We are SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. Within a couple of weeks, I will be SOC 2 Type 1 compliant, which is probably not required by we because we are not payment aggregator. But we do not want to leave any stone unturned when it comes to compliance. And
Why the cost? What's the cost of this company?
there's a cost. There's a cost to it, and we are happy to take that cost. So it's not very expensive, but it is a good amount of cost. But this cost is important because it actually important for us to have a goodwill, the credibility, and the stability. You're playing with customer data. But this also helps when we go and meet back. So it is not Vijay, Pradeep, and Mohit and me. No, we also have to walk 9 yards within the bank across their risk compliance department before we get a sign off or go ahead and activate. All these certifications, which are global in nature, gives me an advantage to work with banks saying, yes, I certified. Moment you get this certificate, banks are willing to work with you, saying you're certified by this standards or SOC to you or ISO. So this gives me advantage working with bank very closely. This also helps bank to manage their own audit, saying these are my partner, work compliant. And also it helps me because I have a periodic assessment done by the bank because I become a partner with the bank. The data moves from my platform to the banking system so that RBI says it comes under their purpose. So bank is responsible. So I am also periodic audit has been done with the bank. So this helps. So when it comes to security compliance, I have to adhere to a standard. There is no shortcuts. And you rightly said, law of fintech typically would not have seen this side of right? We'll have just by use regulatory. Other is very clear when it comes to customer data. DPDP is absolutely much needed for India. We would rather welcome to have that so that customer data is completely protected and safeguarded. I think DPDP coming in, where she will change complete dynamics of the overall customer data handling and kind of thing. Banks are very, very particular about the way we work closely with the bank. We also become a part of bank's audit. So I think RBI is very clear in terms of what data is shared by fintech to the bank, how the data was used, classified, stored. I think clear guidelines are coming in DPDP, and then I think that is going to be changing the complete rules of the game.
I think even Global FinTech Fest, which is happening, उससे भी बहुत फर्क पड़ रहा है in the terms of awareness and digitization around finance.
So a lot of stuff. See, Global FinTech Fest is a good platform where a lot of people are coming, banks are coming. So it's basically like probably I'll say FinTech banks is a collaborative approach. It's as simple as that. They don't compete. Correct. तो मतलब सब में काम करता है. So obviously it's a collaborative approach, and this kind of a platform helps in connecting people, understanding broader. The ABI is part of those forum, NPCA is part of those forum. So you get to hear in terms of what is the vision of government, regulator. I think it's a good platform to be connected.
But how do you onboard these banks and what's your revenue model? क्योंकि हर बैंक का तरीका प्रोसीजर सब अलग होगा. Yes, like you mentioned, around 150 we have financial institutions. तो क्या onboarding process होता है for a bank? And then उसके basis पे loan तो उनको ही देना है. तो what's your revenue on this?
ठीक. So I think good question. So when I say tie up with a bank, typically we need to sign a contract saying that we will be LSP or a DLA kind of a partnership. So that is a legal cover. It's a loan service provider,
LSA
or a digital lending app. Digital listening app. So we are typically are a fintech, so we are digital lending app with Lawapay. So when I'm pushing data with my platform to the bank, we become digital lending app.
Got it.
Now there's a contract which is signed between us, between the bank and us.
ठीक है.
And which covers all this infosec, data security, all this aspect. And then whatever business we source gets into that particular code of the bank, just to identify this business is sourced by us. So there's an identification which has been given. So we call that as a kind of a code. So we work with 50-60 bank. We may not need to work with all 150 because segments what we're looking at is salary MSME. I think with 50-60 banks, I think we should be able to cover 90% of what we are going to source.
बैंक आपको पे करता है या
Sorry, commercial model is like, no, we don't charge customers at all. So when I say B2B2C, so I go to a corporate and then this app is extended completely free, which is more of financial wellness to their employees. So we don't charge a corporate, we don't charge employees. Rather we reward employees for transacting on our platform, and we get paid from it.
एंट्री बैरियर तो बहुत लो हुआ बिकॉज कोई भी कॉर्पोरेट का फ्री में यदि ऐप दे रहे हो तो वो लोग तो इंटरेस्टेड ही रहेंगे कि हाँ इट्स ओके.
So it is not commercial part of it, but it is more of a wellness. So why you talk about a concept that what do you do for your employees when they need money? I think these are the thoughts typically going pretty well with CHROs, and even that industry is dynamically changing. It is also helping them in terms of retention of the employees, doing a lot of value-add services. We do a lot of webinar, we do on-ground activities for the employees, we make them aware in terms of what they do. So I think this is quite welcome. We made 50 plus corporate. I think all of them have given a good feedback that you guys are trying to build something good, which probably is missing. Right, so it is working across junior segment to a senior management segment pretty well for us. So for corporate, it's not only monetary angle, but the kind of a wellness thought you bring to the table is helping them out to do something for the employees. Second, my commercial model is typically from bank because I source business for the bank, I give it to the bank, and my payouts are depending upon the product. So it starts from like 0.8 to goes up to 2.5 depending upon the product and the kind of a ticket size what.
और रेवेन्यू साइकिल क्या रहती है, कितने टाइम में आपको बैंक पे करता है?
Typically it is between 45 to 90 days. Each bank has a different payout cycles. So for the lowest could be 45 days to 90 days.
So you always need certain kind of liquidity to manage operations.
So that is where we are now raising a funding round, which is nothing to bridge this funding.
Because salaries देनी है.
So as we grow, the gap will be bigger.
Correct.
I think that is where we need funding. Otherwise, we are done with entire build story. So a lot of investment what we have done is now on the tech people locations.
Don't you think debt funding is also a great route to go for the investments?
I think we built it very simple. We never went VC route. We were also very clear that we will not go for a debt. Because that interest,
because
size of our organization, I think large pie we go things. We ran it pretty tight actually. We ran it pretty tight for last 2 years, and since I said we were revenue generating company, the gap was narrowing down in terms of the burn. So I think probably another 3-4 months we should be able to break even.
Oh, that's nice. That's pretty good. That's perfect. So I think now we come to a particular round,
Okay.
not of investments but of questions, but जहाँ पर थोड़ा अलग हट के questions हम पूछते हैं, not related specifically to your sector, but I have a mix of questions. So my first question, आपकी favorite मिठाई कौन सी है?
I think I love मूंग दाल हलवा followed by gulab jamun.
मूंग दाल हलवा followed by gulab jamun. Okay, when it comes to the other side,
Okay.
मिसल पाव या छोले भटूरे?
I think misal pav.
Why?
Anytime.
Because Bombay boy.
That's I just love that stuff. I get eat anytime. This is the day. It's my favorite.
Okay. मतलब आप कभी भी खा सकते हो मिसल?
Yeah. Crazy about it.
ओके जो 20s में है
Okay.
उनको इक्विटी में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए या म्यूचुअल फंड्स?
I think this piece of advice is slightly difficult. I think it depends from person to person. I would rather say start investing early. Now you can decide your risk appetite with a mutual fund. You want to build up a portfolio over the period of time. I will just rather say keep it very simple. Start saving early. Stay invested for a long time. Right? And the mix of equity mutual fund, both are good. But both needs long-term vision. And depending on your risk appetite, I think you can do a mix and match.
बट आप 20s में होते तो आप क्या
I would have rather gone for equities because I may not have a responsibility to sooner. I don't need to take a home loan. I don't need to look after my family. I would have preferred going equities, taking risk appetite. If I'm now in 50s, I would rather go for a mutual fund, which is typically your risk. I need to because somebody else is managing my portfolio for me. I buy trash bucket.
cheap it then?
Right? You don't have to worry about equities. You have to always look out, what's happening around. So it depends upon the kind of expertise you have.
इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग या लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट्स
Long term investment. Intraday trading,
इन योर 20s?
I think still long term.
Still not.
Intraday is gambling. It's going to casino and then coming out. Sometimes, hands full, sometimes hands empty. I think I would rather say same thing, stay invested for a longer duration.
What's your one financial advice for younger audience or Gen Zs?
You can buy iPhone the day you afford it. Not online.
Nice, not online. And
So I think they should not come under peer pressure saying that that's my lifestyle. I think that's what maybe I'm wrong. I'm 50. But I think aspirations are important, but not at the cost of taking a loan and buying something.
and at what age we should plan for buying a house in Bombay? Or like is it an emotional decision?
So I think it depends upon your end use. If you're really looking out as an investment, then you should consider multiple other options as an investor. But if your end purpose is to stay in the house, I think you should do it as quick as possible.
Yes. Even if like in late 20s or early 30s,
Why not? Rather than paying rent, I think you have your own house.
but like just asking around the appreciation of the asset. Don't you think कि investing that kind of amount जो आपका आप down payment कर रहे हो उतना ज़्यादा आप SIPs में डाल
So there are multiple ways to look at it. And a lot of debate typically you would have seen in social media. Should I stay on a rent or should I pay a property? I think as I rightly said, end use is if you really want to stay in your own house, then again, an emotional angle, you're fine. But you're happy staying on rent and putting that EMI amount into investment or equities, I think fine.
nice perfect.
It is basically a practical and emotional angle. Like rather than you want to make your parents proud, saying मेरे बेटे ने घर खरीद लिया है, that is the feeling you want to have. I think mutual fund.
It's not a financial decision.
It is more emotional. Buying house, first house is emotional, second house is investment. I would rather say that put that money into equity mutual fund. I think it will give you better returns is what my belief is.
Nice.
Because the rental yields are 2 to 2.5% more, not more than that. Imagine against that, whatever EMI you are paying is on 7%, 8%. So what you lose is 5,000 and you're looking at capital appreciation, which may not happen because it depends on a lot of parameters, factors. The supply in Bombay, the location, which building, the surroundings. So you can't expect that every property will be carries. Right? So better to invest somewhere else which may give better returns.
Perfect. Sounds good. I thank you so much, Vijay, for enlightening us in the terms of financial decisions, the kind of journey that you had, and I think you have covered so many things around fintech, जो लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि when it comes to उनको लोन्स कैसे लेने चाहिए, कौन सा डेटा सिक्योरिटी इंपॉर्टेंट है, कंप्लायंस क्या होता है, हाउ दिस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री इज इवॉल्विंग, योर एक्सपीरियंस. So I wish you a lot of luck and success, and hopefully Finfinity will reach to the infinite possibilities of finance. And yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Rishi. Thank you for all the time. I think it's wonderful talking to you. I think pleasure. Looking forward to meet you again.
We'll speak to you for B2B collaborations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we close our partnership.
Yeah, it's done. Thank you.